What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of, Keep It Comics. As always, I am your gracious host, C3. Today, I've got a really special video planned for us, and we can chalk this one up to members of the community. Easy Rider, Big 1977, and Juice Hawk 1369. It is because of those guys that you are getting an extra video this week. All right? Now, we're calling this one the real top 10 hottest comic books of the week, because this is going to give us some more accurate data of what sold on the secondary market, and not just the percentage of increases sold, but also the actual amount of comics that were sold. So you're going to get the unit number also. All right. So with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by, checking out the channel. If this is your first time stopping by, seeing this channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you hang around to the end, I'll do an unboxing for you guys. All right. So without further ado, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and definitely ring that bell. So every time I do a video, you guys will get that notification. All right. So before we get started, you know the routine. Check the nonsense at the door, because it's good vibes only over here, baby. Yeah, we about our comics. All right, guys. Coming in at number 10. This book is published by Image, and it is called The Secret History of the War on Weed, issue number 1. Yes. It was released on April 20th, 2022. And the key factor to this book is it is the Bored Ape Yacht Club variant. And it was limited to 500 copies. So there's not a lot of these out there. All right. The last recorded sale for a raw copy was on April 24th, 2022, where that book sold for $250. The book is currently trending up on a daily trend. It has a daily trend of 12.19%. But it also has a 7-day trend, a weekly trend of 207%. And there's a weekly top sell of $210. All right. So this book has sold 11 units on the secondary market over the past week. All right. So there is some movement on this book for those of you who are looking to get your hands on it. And the fair market value has this book resting at $249. All right, for a raw copy. So if you're interested in this book, please keep your eye on it, because it is moving on the secondary market. All right. And we're going to keep this one moving. Moving right along. Coming in at number 9. This book is published by Marvel. All right. And the title of this book is Thor, God of Thunder, issue number 3. Now, this book was released on December 12th, 2012. The key factor to this book is, nothing spectacular. This is just the Asad Ribic regular cover. And the last recorded sale for a raw copy on this book was on April 26th of 2022, where this book sold for $50. Okay? Now, let's talk for a second. Considering all the hype we have centered around the new Thor movie that's coming out, Thor Love and Thunder, like, everybody's excited about this book. So these books are doing extremely well on the secondary market. But I do encourage you, be mindful of the prices. You do not want to overpay for anything that's out there, all right? So, do your homework and figure out how much you're willing to spend. If you have a budget, stick to your budget. I'm pretty sure you can find a copy within range of your budget that'll satisfy your collection, all right? So when you hear me do these type of videos, or you hear me share this information with you, it is not to prompt you to rush and go out there and just buy comic books. No. I am a collector, so I want to pick that which I think will enhance my collection, but also not break the bank. All right? And I like sharing this information with you guys. Okay? So, let's get back to information. Check these numbers out. This book is currently trending upward at 19.47% on a daily trend. But on a 7-day trend, it has a 7-day trend of 209%, with a weekly top sell of $125, right? And that's in a 9.8. That book sold back on April 19th of 2022. So there is some movement in this book, and you can see that it has significant gains on it, all right? And it has sold 19 units so far on the secondary market. And I anticipate that number will be going up the closer we get to this movie, all right? The fair market value has a raw copy of this book sitting at $35. So if this is a book that you are interested in, those are some of the numbers that you can be taking a look at. Excuse me. All right, coming in at number 8. This book is published by DC. The title of this book is Catwoman, issue number 42. And I am talking about the Sozo Micah 1 in 25 variant. Sozo Micah 1 in 25 variant, right? Beautiful cover. I love the artwork on this book. The last recorded sale was for a raw copy on April 28th of 2022, where that book sold for $33.39. This book is currently trending downwards, ladies and gentlemen. Down. This book is currently trending down at 19.54%, but it has a 7-day trend. It is moving upward at 98%. All right, so you see the difference. You know, on a daily trend, it could be down, but it does well throughout the week. All right, so in a 7-day period, it is trending up at 98%, which I say is still a perfect opportunity for buying because the prices are still not too high. They're still moderate. You know what I mean? Easy to get your hands on type. What I like to call, you know, low hanging fruit. I've heard throughout the community it's called low hanging fruit. All right. It has a weekly top sell of $66 for a raw copy, which again is not bad. 1 in 25, beautiful artwork. It has sold 25 units so far on the secondary market, and the fair market value has this book resting at $30.70 for a raw copy. So if you're interested in Catwoman issue number 42, go ahead and try to get your hands on one. Prices are still fairly simple. All right. Now, moving right along, we are at number 7, ladies and gentlemen. This book was published by Marvel. The title of this book is Hawkeye versus Deadpool, issue number 0. Yeah. This book was released on September 3rd, 2014. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Spider-Gwen and Jane Foster via a trick-or-treaters in a costume. So there were costumes of of Spider-Gwen and Jane Foster Thor, but they were kids dressed up as trick-or-treaters, right? So the last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on April 26, 2022, where that book sold for $64.99. It has a current daily trend. It is up at 10.28%, but it has a 7-day trend that is up 121%, which is good because that book is steady, and I like that. I like to see that. I don't mind if a back issue begins to gain some ground. I like the fact that it's a steady gain, and it shows that the closer we get to this movie, that this book could level out eventually. Right where it levels out is where I'll start paying real close attention to it, and then I'll wait for it to drop a little bit and double back and grab myself a copy of it. All right, so that's just a little strategy of mine that I'll share with you. It has a weekly top sell for a 9.8 of $229, and that was on April 24th of 2022. All right, so a 9.8 sold for $230. And again, like I said, I wouldn't purchase one of these books right now as we're getting closer to this movie coming out. I would actually wait a little bit and then double back and grab it. All right. So, and that's just my personal opinion. That's just for me. And so that you guys are aware, this book has sold 27 units so far on the secondary market this past week. All right. And the fair market value has this book resting at $216 for a 9.8, but it also has it resting at $48.49 for a raw copy. All right. So there you could choose, which one you might be interested in. Some people may want that raw copy. Some people may want to get that graded copy. Not everybody gets everything graded. You know what I mean? So give you both numbers on that. Coming in at number 6, this book is published by Marvel, and the title of this book is Thor, God of Thunder, issue number 25. Yes, are you sensing the theme now? This book was released on September 17th, 2014. The key factor to this book is it is the cameo of Jane Foster as Thor. Right? So it's a cameo appearance. The last recorded sale of this book was on April 28th, 2022, and it was for a raw copy. That book sold for $22.49. The current trend of this book, it is up, slow but steady. It is up 3.3% on a daily trend, but it also has a 7-day trend of 139%. It is up 139% on the weekly trend, on the 7-day trend. All right. And it has a weekly top sell of $255. And with that being said, you must know, ladies and gentlemen, that so far there has been 27 units that have sold on the secondary market this past week of this book. Okay. And the fair market value has this book resting at $39.13 for a raw copy. And that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. That's something you could, that's a piece of fruit you could possibly sink your teeth into. Right? Seeing as how we got Thor coming to the big screen, everybody's anticipating Jane Foster. So shout out to all my guys in the comment section who we really nailed it. Definitely understand that Thor is going to be something to reckon with. We definitely looking forward to that. We're anticipating Thor. And I'm actually excited about the movie, so I can't wait. All right? Now, this next book coming in at number 5. But before I do, yes, I'm going to take a commercial break. So, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by, checking out the channel. Thank you for hanging out with me. This particular video I put together because the community recommended it. They wanted it. So I like to give the community what they want. At least I do my best. I try to. All right. So this is another video that I'm putting out. And I hope you guys appreciate this information and this data that I'm sharing with you. Thank all you guys for subscribing to the channel. Thank all my new subscribers. And if this is your first time stopping by, checking out the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out. My name is C3, and this is what I do. All right. At the end of the day, I appreciate each and every one of you. Much respect, much love, man. Peace and prosperity to the comic book community. All right. We have a mantra over here, and it's good vibes only, ladies and gentlemen. We here for the love of the hobby, not for nothing else. That's it. That's why I love doing what I do. All right. So this video is for you guys. And again, shout out to Easy Reader, man. Shout out to Easy Reader. Shout out to Big 1977, and shout out to Juice Hawk 1369. All right. That's why we got this extra video. Yeah, I saw those comments in the comment section. I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's give it a try. All right. So let's get back to the list. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And now, let's get to it. Coming in at number 5, ladies and gentlemen, this book is published by Marvel. The title of this book is Thor, issue number 8. Yes, Thor books, Jane Foster books are on the move on the secondary market. And I thought you guys might want to know, so I'm bringing all this information to you. This book was released on May 13th of 2015. The key factor to this book is that it is revealed that Jane Foster is to be Thor. All right, so Jane Foster is revealed to be Thor. The last recorded sale of this book was of a raw copy, which was on April 29th, 2022, where that book sold for $24.99. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen. It has a daily trend of 6.37%, but it also has a 7-day trend. It has a weekly trend that is up 153% in sale and copies sold, which is a beautiful thing. And this book has a weekly top sell of $145 for a graded copy, right? So I think that's pretty good. And I'm actually excited to see that these comic books continue to change hands on the secondary market. That just continues to provide further assurance to me that our hobby is not dead. And I don't see it dying anytime soon. The comic book industry is alive and well. And as long as we love what we do and we're willing to share this information and go out and find these books, man, our hobby will be fine. It is safe and secure as it always has been. I love it, man. I'm excited about the hobby. I'm excited about the hobby. So this book has sold 32 units this past week. So there has been 32 copies of this book that have changed hands over the past 7 days alone, right? So just imagine how in time, how much more that this comic is going to do on the secondary market. you know. But like I always say, me personally, I'm gonna wait for things to slow down a little bit on this book, and then I'll double back and grab myself a copy. Yeah, that's how I'm doing. I have some of them. I actually, and you want to hear something? A funny story. I actually, my wife and I, we were out in New York. We were hanging out. So I went to one of my favorite comic book shops, and I actually bought just about the entire run of Thor, Jane Foster's Thor. So I know I have a lot of these books in my collection, but if I wanted, like, I normally like to have 2 or 3 copies of said comics. So I wouldn't go out and buy another comic right now, because there's no way I'm going to get a new copy of these books for the price that I got them for 3-4 months ago, right? So and I'm definitely just not willing to pay over what I paid a few months ago. So I'll wait for them to calm down a little bit, and then I'm gonna strike while the iron is cold. That's what I like to do. I like to wait for things to cool off. You strike while the iron's hot, but I'm gonna strike while the iron's cold. I rather wait for them to cool off, right? That's what I like doing. So there's been 32 units of this book that have sold so far, and the fair market value has this book resting at $128 for 9.8, but it also has raw copies going for $28.74. So depending on which one you want, again, it's up to you. It's your preference. If you want the graded 9.8, you're going to be paying roughly about $130. If you want a raw, decent copy, mid to high grade, you're going to be looking to be paying about $30. All right. So if you're interested in these books, keep your eye on it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 4. This book is published by Marvel. The title of this book is Thor, God of Thunder, issue number 2. Thor, God of Thunder, issue number 2. Now, this book was released on November 28th, 2012. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Gore the God Butcher in all black, the Necro Sword. Yo, I'm feeling that name. All black, the Necro Sword. This is dope, right? Last recorded sale for this book was on April 28th, 2022, where that book sold for $402 for the grade of a 9.8. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'll drink to that. $402 for the 9.8 back on April 28th, which was just a few days ago. So you can see that this book is alive and well, doing good on the secondary market. All right, but I want you to pay attention to these numbers. The current trend for this particular book on a daily trend is down 5.50%. 5.50% is down, right? But it has a 7-day trend, a weekly trend that is up 93%. So even though, it's not doing well daily, weekly, it continues to move units, which it brings me to our next few numbers, right? So it has a weekly top sale of $529. So someone just recently paid $530 for a copy of this book. And it has sold 36 units over the past week. So that's not bad at all. 36 copies of this book have changed hands on the secondary market over this past week alone. Fair market value has this book resting at $198 for the raw copy. Okay? So keep your eye out for that book. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it. We have made it to our top 3 hottest comic books of the week on the secondary market. And this is the real hot 3. This is real. These are real accurate numbers, all right? Now, this book is published by Marvel. The title of this book is Thor, issue number 2. Yes. This book was released on November 12th, 2014. Now, the key factor to this book is it is the first full appearance of the new Thor, Jane Foster. Woo woo! Yes. Yo, I'm excited. I want to see her, man. I want to see it. The last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on April 26th of 2022, where that book sold for $24. It has a current daily trend that is down 19.23%. But it has a 7-day trend. It has a weekly trend that is up 134%. So believe it or not, this book is still going strong, right? It has a weekly top sell of $215 for a graded copy, and it has sold 45 units so far this past week alone, right? So again, nice, healthy sales being shown when it comes to these particular books. The fair market value has this book resting at $27.08 for a raw copy, mid to high grade, give or take $1 or $2. But if you're interested in this book, just keep your eye on it. You know what I always say, strike while the iron is cold. Do a little homework, reach out to the salesperson, see if they're willing to strike a deal with you. It doesn't hurt to ask. A closed mouth don't get fed, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, at number 2, we have a book that is published by Marvel, and this book is titled, What If, issue number 10. I love it. I love it. What If, issue number 10. This book was released on August 1st, 1978. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Jane Foster, Thordis. 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 Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool myself. All right, the last recorded sale for this book was in a raw copy. It was on April 27th, 2022, where that book sold for $135. This book, too, is also trending down on a daily trend. It has a daily trend that is down 16.86%, but it has a strong 7-day trend that is up 122%. So it has a strong weekly trend of 122%, and there has been 49 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. And get this, it also has a weekly top sell of $2,000 for a graded book that sold on April 18th of 2022. All right? So the comic book community still believes in this book. No one pays $2,000 for a book that they don't believe in. Trust me when I tell you. All right? Now, the fair market value has this book resting at $128 for a raw copy. And remember, there has been 49 copies of this book that have sold just this past week alone. So, if you're interested in this book, keep your eye on it. The title is What If, issue number 10. All right? So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally made it. Here we are to our number 1 hottest comic book of the week. And that book is published by Marvel. The title is Thor, issue number 1. The most sold units this week. Thor, issue number 1. This book was released on October 1st, 2014. The key factor to this book is it is the first cover appearance of Jane Foster as Thor. I love this copy. Like I have a couple copies of this book myself. I have the first copy and I have the green copy. I do not have the other one, but like I said, I'm going to get that one. I don't have the blue one, but I'm going to wait for that one to die down before I reach for it, right? But I just want to keep my eye on it. But I do want to add it to my collection because I would like to have all the colors in my collection, right? But let's check these numbers out. The key factor to this book is it is the first cover appearance of Jane Foster as Thor. The last recorded sale of a graded copy of this book was a 9.8, and that sold back on April 29th of 2022, where it went for $350, which is not too bad for a 9.8. Again, I say if you wait for the perfect opportunity, you could probably get it for a little less. Now wouldn't be the best buying time for this book, in my opinion. I wouldn't try to purchase this book right now. The current trend for this book is up. It has a daily upward trend of 0.82% and a very nice weekly trend, a very strong positive weekly trend that is up 104%. It has a weekly top sell of $395. So this book does continue to go up in value. I would just be patient. That would be my advice to the comic book community concerning this particular book. I would be patient, right? I know FOMO is real. FOMO is very real, but be careful. All right. There's an antidote for FOMO, and it is called patience. All right. This book has sold 91 copies so far on the secondary market this past week alone. And I think that's a beautiful thing, right? So I'm excited for this movie. I'm excited for these characters. I'm excited for the comic book community. I'm excited for all of you guys who are purchasing these books, because you guys are the ones who are able to add these books to your collection. And that's what it's about. We're seeing what we like, and we're purchasing what we like, and we're growing and adding to our collection. And to me, that's just a beautiful thing. And the fair market value has this book resting at $121 for a raw copy. So again, do what you like, buy what you like. It's completely up to you. I have given you your list. Please go out there, have fun, enjoy the hunt, but be careful. Don't jump out of the airplane without the parachute. Make wise decisions and let patience be your guide. All right? I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for stopping by, checking out the channel. And before I go, I told you I'd pop open a box for you. So, really quick, let's do an unboxing. I have one right here. Straight off of eBay. If you guys ever, where do you get your books from, C3? Well, every now and again, I got to support the online stores too. So I'm going to pop this one open for us, and then I'll let you guys know what we got. Give it like that. We're going to remove a little bit of this tape. I'm actually glad we're out of that holiday season, because my packages are, I'm not so afraid to order anything right now offline. But this past Christmas season was horrible for me with packages. So I kind of slowed down on my ordering just to let it cool off. Okay. So we're going to set this right here. Show you guys what we got. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so public service announcement. If there are any children in the room right now, please, parents, remove your children for a hot second. I want to show you this book. It's nothing crazy wild, but I just want to be respectful. All right? I'll give you a couple seconds. Because I don't want to go. Why I gotta go? But wait, Daddy, Mommy. All right, you guys ready? Look, so the first bit, what I'll show you is, I'll show you cover B. And this is Vermilion, issue number 1 from Behemoth Comics, right? This is that all black cover. Beautiful all black cover, right? And the next one is Vermilion issue number 1, cover A from Behemoth, that red cover. And I just thought that this was a book that I wanted to add to my collection. Big fan of horror comics, so I wanted to grab it. This nothing crazy, just a little provocative, and I wouldn't want to disrespect anyone's household. All right, so that's what I grabbed from New Comic Book Day this past week. Thought I'd share that with you guys. All right. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you stopping by, checking out the channel. I had a lot of fun doing this list. This is something new. Maybe we'll do this one every week. This will probably be the video that I drop coming up on New Comic Book Day, right? So I think we'll do it like that. There's nothing else, guys. So I'll let you guys go find your books, all right? Once again, thank you for stopping by, checking out the channel. I am your host, C3, and I'll see you guys next video. Good vibes only, people. Peace.